get the cheat code, I'm a beast. They said they'll never let me out of leash. Stop out the cap, I'm just tryna see. You really back what you talk on the beat. They put me in, I'ma walk on the beat. I eat my plate and it make me obese. I been pushing lyrics like a kingpin. And when the day we got no rings.
Hey guys, what's happening?
Olaf, happy, happy,
1 year,
whatever it is.
1 year,
it is
March
1 year.
Madness.
We rock.
I
have an
52
announcement
weeks.
today,
You have
and
an
I've
announcement?
saved it for cheat code. Yes.
Okay.
So my team and I got together a couple months ago, and we've been trying to figure out a way to help more people because you know what we do, we're kind of expensive.
Right.
So we're starting a marketing company called Articentric, and we're going to help a shit ton of people.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Boom,
Really
boom, boom, boom.
excited.
Can we get a Clue bomb or can we get the Funk Flex bomb or something? So as if you guys don't do enough, you're going to do more.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, we're bringing it.
Yeah. 2020, 2023 and beyond, that has to be the model. Do more.
Exactly. I'm excited because
Do
we're going to
more.
have 3 different packages, so we'll be able to help more people. They'll
I love
be a
it.
little exclusive because we can't help the whole world.
Everybody. Of course not.
Right.
But we made it affordable to get to the next level.
I love it.
Yep.
That's great news.
It is great news.
Yeah.
We're
Especially
excited.
in a climate and in a time when it's a money grab and everybody's trying to figure out how to get the most for the least. And everybody's laying everybody off and nobody is trying to meet anybody halfway. Kudos to you guys.
Thanks. We're coming hard.
It's just
Shout
necessary.
out to being help because sometimes people
Not being rescued.
people want to get rescued. People want to do, people want to be the main person, want to be the star, want to be whoever. But some people should be help, so people can go get help. Because guess what? You need help in whatever you do. So I think that's dope.
I'm just tired of hearing people talk about they don't have a team when I have a team. So let my team
Be your
their
team.
team. Yeah.
Amen.
It makes sense.
Yeah. I always think it's always smart to monetize your what you're great at.
Yes.
And I think
Agreed.
people should.
Wasn't it the Joker? Joker, was that it? Batman?
Yeah.
When you're good at something, don't do it for free.
When you're great at something. I was saying on my story on Instagram, people came back from South by Southwest. I saw people say it was great. I saw people say it was terrible. But I challenged them, what you gonna do next?
Right.
How are you going to monetize what you're great at? And I think people don't pay attention to what they're great at, monetize and try to monetize it. They just, great is not even the standard no more. You got to make history. Like you can't even be good. You have to, because it's
stand out.
It's so much music. It's so much influencers. It's so much people doing jobs. Did you guys check the minimum wage?
Yeah.
It's high as hell.
Well, the cost of living is higher.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like everything is going up. So like, so should the quality of how you put out your music.
It's just amazing to me how many people don't understand marketing and how to promote their music properly.
Why do you think that is?
Because I think that they see something fast and they use that as a legend to go by, when in reality, that's not how it should happen. And even looking at it, some scenes it may seem like that's happening fast, but really it's a whole team of people behind the scenes. It's a marketing department, it's an A&R department, it's a promo department, especially if that person got picked up by a label for a single. It's a whole 4 different sets of staffs of people helping that one song and individual go. But sometimes they may say, oh, let's make it look like you're doing this independently. I've heard those conversations in the offices before.
I think it's also, this is an industry where people are on the outside looking in and it looks easy, but it's not. People think they understand it. They look at what their favorite artists are doing and they say, oh, I'm going to replicate that. So, for example, they'll look at Drake or they'll look at Ed Sheeran or they'll look at Rihanna and say, I'm going to do what they're doing. They're doing this, therefore I should be doing this. They don't look at what artists are doing new and coming up. So they're looking at somebody who's already successful, trying to emulate that success, not realizing that they're on step 103 and you're on step 1. And you can look at step 103 as your goal, but you can't just go from 1 to 103. It doesn't work that way. And it's very hard as somebody looking in to figure out how it's really done. But it looks like you would know watching it. But it's not. It's hard as fuck.
Somebody told me analogy of like the music industry is like people who sit across the street from somebody watching somebody build a house, and because they see you build it, they think they can go build one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I think sometimes the music business is like the house has already been finished and built, and people look at it and say, oh, I could build that. They don't even take the effort to watch it being built. They just say, oh, I can do that. It's a built house. I can build one.
yeah.
I did want to talk about marketing. I don't think we ever really did a deep dive into marketing. I think we talked about content promotions and, going on a promo run. But if you're trying to get something organized, you have to have a marketing strategy. And I think that
smells like a plan.
Yeah, it sounds like a plan. And there is no marketing plan. And I think now, especially these days, of course, content, and we had that in our previous episode, content is key. But how do you market your content? How do you market your song? How do you market both together? How do you market who you are as an individual? If you're a comedian, how do you market yourself? How do you figure out how to market yourself when you go on the road and you're going into different cities? Because marketing applies to all types of businesses, especially music.
And you've got to do it to find your fan base, to find your tribe. You can't not market. There's between 60,000 and 100,000 songs uploaded daily to the DSPs, depending on what research you look at. How are you going to stand out? How is your one song going to compete with everything else that's out there?
Kingpin, you said something maybe 30 episodes ago, and it was you can market to a group of people, or you can market to, hey, you with the red glasses with the black stripes.
Right.
How does one, if I'm an artist watching our show, how does one person figure out who their fan base is and then market to them effectively?
I think in order to market, you have to understand, number one, you must know the definition of the word. Two, you must know how to use that word in a sentence. And three,
I love you.
I'm going to market could mean that I'm going to the grocery store.
This guy.
What does the term market mean? What is the stock market? What does market mean? Does market not mean to make money? So in order for me to make money, I have to be specific. Hence, what does the definition of marketing? Can you use it in a sentence? If you can use it in a sentence and you understand the meaning of it, then you understand the context of it. So in order for you to market, that would have to be specific. You cannot be specific if you don't have access to your information. Episode 1, cheat code 1. I don't care who you are, what team you have. If you cannot open the hood and look underneath and know what you are looking at, you don't know if your car can win the race. You hope it will win the race. You believe that if you get enough stickers on the outside of the car, it'll win the race. You believe that if you have the same gas as Dale Earnhardt and Ricky Bobby and the rest of these guys, that you will win the race. That's what you believe. Do you understand what marketing is? And that's what separates 99.9% of the people from the ones that aren't. If anybody can do marketing, there wouldn't be need for marketing agencies. There are people that are masters at marketing. You have people like Ogilvy, who was considered to be the godfather of marketing, the guy who took the Volkswagen Bug and made it a symbol of American freedom. I want you to think about that. This is a man who given the world some of the greatest marketing concepts. One of them is the only product that sells is the one that's advertised. How do you advertise if you don't know who you advertising to? So to not to correct you, but to put that comment on the right path, promotions is, hey, I'm over here. And marketing is, hey, you in the black hat, I know what you like. I got what you want. And in order for me to be able to do that, I have to have the information. So that's why I say it takes about 6 records to get your mapping right. That's why she says it takes about 18 months of consistent releases. Figure out a way that you can where you can hang your hat, but you're going to have to hang your hat. Whether it's a song a week, a song every 2 weeks, a song every 3 weeks. You know that it takes at least 4 staff of at least 5 people. That's at least 20 people all working independently to help one person achieve one goal. All of that requires information. None of those people wake up in the morning, come to the office, and do what they think has to get done. They do what they know needs to get done because that's how effectiveness is reached, is achieved. So marketing, unless you know what it is, unless you know who you're marketing to, unless you know who are we selling it to, 8 or 80, blind, crippled, or crazy, short, tall, big or small, do we have a product to fit them all? And that has to be the motto. You want women followers, but you only selling t-shirts to men, sucker. You want women followers, but every song and every post is about you ain't doing nothing for a bitch, sucker. You want the kids to love you, but you don't put out no clean content, sucker. These are the things that are prohibiting you from reaching the people that you need to reach to be the superstar that in your mind you are. Marketing, bro.
We look at the artist and we figure out exactly who's going to tune in, and there's a couple ways to do that. You can look at who is your music similar to. Like, does your music have a sound like, you know, the Brooklyn drill or Chicago drill or Southern rap? You know, do you sound like Travis Scott or do you sound more like Yo Gotti? You know, and you can look at their fan bases and figure out who's really following them to give you an idea if you don't already have the data on your dashboard. So once you have data, you can then go in and you can see on SoundCloud, on YouTube, on your Instagram page, through your distributor, you can go and see exactly who's tuning in. I do a lot of research because I'm just a nerd, and I spend a lot of time studying like who listens to rap, who listens to pop, who listens to reggae, who listens to R&B, because I want to know this shit. So I already know going into it that the bulk of the fans are 13 to 26 years old. That's the sweet spot. That doesn't mean they're the only people listening to music, but that means that's the bulk of the people. So when I'm starting with a new artist and I don't really know who their fan base is, I start with 13 to 26. And then I market where people discover music. I don't initially go everywhere all at once. I start with the platforms that are known to attract people that are open to new music, because not every fan is willing to discover a new artist. Some fans just want to listen to Drake. They just want to listen to the folks that are already famous. So I go for the platforms like YouTube, like SoundCloud, like TikTok, where people actually discover music, and then I test music. The early stages of putting an artist out, we're just kind of testing what's going to work and what's not. And in our office, we actually run tests on the music. We'll test 5 songs at a time on Instagram or Facebook or Google or wherever we test, and we'll figure out which of those 5 songs reacts the best. And it doesn't mean that I'm not going to put out all 5 songs. I absolutely do. But we figure out which one, maybe it's song 2 and 4, and then we'll focus the bulk of the budget on songs 2 and 4. So maybe 60% of whatever we're going to spend on those 5 songs go to 2 and 4, and the other 40% go to 1, 3, and 5. But that's how we decide internally at Power Moves how we're going to work music. And then we put it out, we stay consistent. Sometimes we'll put out the best song first. Sometimes we'll hold it back because we want to figure out, you know, can we get our DSPs right? Because as soon as you put out music the first time, it doesn't automatically all go really well.
Correct.
There's shit that happens. So depending on the artist name, like I worked with an artist called Trouble, and Trouble is a very common name. So when we uploaded music, we expected it to not go to the right DSP until the 5th or the 6th release, and that's just the nature of it. So I didn't want to put out his biggest song first and then have the mistakes happen with that song and then completely lose the song and then not have a follow-up that could come right behind it. So there's a lot of chess that's at play here, and you've got to make decisions based on what's going to be best for the artist and what's going to be the best to reach the masses. And then the one last thing I'll say before I shut up is so many artists come to us and they have 20 different kinds of music. And that's like putting out 20 different artists, even though they have the same name and the same image. So if you're gonna build repetition and consistency with your fans, you've got to do it for whatever lane of music you're in, and your songs all have to sound similar, not the same.
I'm versatile, face ass boys. You don't sit the fuck
Everybody
down
loves
somewhere.
me. I have music for everybody.
Sit your country ass down. I just want to try something, bro. I heard Lil Nas X doing country ass down, boy.
Exactly. You've got to, if you're going to have repetition, the repetition has to come into play with something that sounds similar. Again, not the same. And it's got to be your best shit. I've heard so many artists say, "Oh, I've got better music on the hard drive." Why are you not putting out your best music? And let's test it. Let's see what lane reacts the best. And then let's just go for that lane. And then let's get savage with it. Let's blitz the marketplace. Let's do everything we need to do. And then let's just get behind it and push and run and go. But do enough of it and have enough of a budget that you can continue to do it as long as it takes, whether that's 6 months, a year and a half, 3 years. It took us 4 years to break trouble. It's not fast. This is not a fast game.
It's not supposed to be. The race is not a sprint to the cash. It's a marathon to the money.
There you go.
You know, the race is made for those that can endure. You got to get, we talked about it, episode 5, 6, getting into a rhythm. Track and field, athletes, boxers, anybody, you pulling an all-nighter, you've been studying, you understand that getting in a rhythm, finding your second wind, all of those things are important. Why should that not apply in the music business?
It does apply. I did an all-nighter last night. Like, this is what we do in music. I'm 30 years in, and I still research. I still pull all-nighters. I still give 110% effort. It's the nature of the beast. You have to do it. And if you're not committed, go get a job. UPS is hiring.
And there's nothing wrong. We don't say go get a job in a derogatory way.
No.
We say go get a job.
Jobs are great.
It's because that's what's going to help you get paid. That's what we're doing with the cheat code, trying to help you get paid. I'm not trying to help you be a star. That's what you want to help yourself be.
Yes.
I want to help you get paid. You want applause.
Yes.
I don't care about you getting applause. I care about you getting a check off the applause after you've established the connection between you and the check.
Yes, I want your kids to eat. I want your children's children
Yes.
to be motherfucking wealthy.
Rich. Long-term money, man. You could do that with the music business, bro. But
Yes,
you have to own it. You have to, from the very beginning, it takes $0 to figure out what it is that you want to do and wake up and be committed to it. Nobody had to pay Michael Jordan to go take 1,000 free throws after he got cut from the high school basketball team. Nobody paid Kobe Bryant to wake up and decide that he wanted to be the Mamba. Thanks. Nobody woke up and paid these people. They woke up and they decided they were going to be the best to ever do it, whether you wanted to, regardless. God damn it. And that's what we're trying. I can't give you that passion, but I can give you the tools to capitalize off of that passion once it's in place.
But I will use my passion to compete with you, so you better step up.
Hell yeah. People only go as half as hard as you do. So your team is only going to go as half as hard as you do.
Cheat code question of the day for Kingpin and Wendy Day. This is from King Taz, Dirty South Prince on Instagram. When is the most recent occurrence of you guys realizing that an artist is lazy? Have you ever seen an artist pop and then become lazy personally? Which is worse, an artist who is lazy or an artist with a shady, bad team?
Ooh.
So 2 questions, obviously.
Yeah.
Worse for who, though?
What's worse for you two, working with an artist who is lazy or an artist who has a shady, bad team?
I don't work with either. My artists aren't lazy, and I don't work with bad people.
If we talked about shady as far as like shysters or snakes, then obviously that's going to be a short-lived career for the artist, and I'm sure he's in paperwork where he's not going to be able. But shysty or shady, as in incompetent, that's a rampant problem in this industry. Incompetence is. That's the bar for entry. Oh, you're incompetent? You don't know what you're doing? Come on,
Join
bro.
The music industry.
Join the music industry, bro.
Sign right here.
Sign an
right
artist.
here. Come on.
Sign right now.
So, I think a lazy artist, to me, a lazy artist is poison. And I'll tell you why. Because all of the nobody taught me anything that I learned in this business. There was no school for Kingpin to go to. There was no university. There was none of that.
It's true.
There was wake up every day and succeed or fail.
Yep.
And when you fail, if you fail long enough and you're tired of failing, you will realize why you started to fail. Hence, Kingpin had to learn why Why am I going out here and hanging 10,000 24 by 36 inch posters all up and down the city and I've got everybody tagging me, but not the artist? Well, shit, it's because the artist page doesn't even read it. Oh my God, you mean nobody thought about that? Holy shit. So it's a thing that it snowballs. And it starts from the very beginning. An artist that's lazy, she has no passion, no desire, no interest to learn the music, the business of music, and they have every interest and desire to reap the benefits of the business of music. They don't want to know what it takes to get their vocals sounding right. They want their vocals sounding right, and they will do whatever it takes. They will sign away whatever they have to, and they will get online and complain after they do all of that because they don't understand that it takes 4 teams. 4 teams?
Yeah.
4 teams. They don't understand that it takes a team of content creators every single day. So again, it's not our job to help anybody understand the value of this. We give you the game. What you do with it is up to you.
I can't address Shady because it's completely irrelevant. Like, screw them.
Right.
But I will address lazy. And the best way to succeed in anything that you do is to learn that industry, learn how to win, and then outwork everybody else. It's really that simple.
That's it.
There is no lazy. Lazy doesn't work in life. Lazy doesn't work in relationships. Lazy doesn't work in business. Lazy doesn't work.
Sad.
Cheat code.
Cheat with Kodai.